Well, it's a joy to be with my good friend Suneel from Pakistan, and we're going to have a moment to talk through having a heart for the poor. So, welcome, Suneel. Great to be with you, Suneel. Can you tell us about yourself, about your family, and about your ministry there in Pakistan?
Yes, first of all, thank you so much, Brother Peter Anderson, for sparing some time to have this interview, to have this meeting together, all the way from UK to Faisalabad, to Pakistan. So it's a great privilege to have you. Yes, this is Pastor Suneel Shakti from Pakistan. I've been serving God for the past almost 11 years now. It's a great privilege to serve God in multiple ways. I am a married man with a beautiful wife, but today in this interview, I would like to share that with the prayer of Brother Peter Anderson, God blessed me, and my wife, or we will be having a baby in coming February. So it's a great testimony. So in 2021, I initiated my first open church called Rise. So in next six months, people started giving their testimonies. So they started sharing with other people. So people just used to come from other villages to come and to attend the prayer service. So I said, okay, you should not be traveling that far from another village to this village. Maybe I can go to them. So went to another village. So I started the second church, open church, just in 6 months. So in 2021, I started the two churches. That was in Faisalabad itself. And that's how I just started growing the church. I started growing the academies for the children. And thanks be to God that currently I have 4 free study centers for the poor, for the orphans, and 3 churches.
Can you explain an academy? Is it a place where poor children are able to come and receive an education? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Because they were always roaming around in the streets, begging on the by the roadside, and they didn't have anyone to look after. Some of them they didn't have parents. Some of them had only single parent, but they were not being looked after. So what I did was I just started a campaign. Okay, learn, then remove L. Learn, then remove L. So it becomes you first learn and then earn.
Ah,
So
so learn, and then you take the L
and
away and it's earn.
yes, yes,
Ah,
yes.
very good.
So I just started this campaign, but and thanks be to God that now, for the past it's almost 2 years. So there are some students they are good in speaking Urdu because we always speak Punjabi. Urdu is always learned, so they can speak our national language very well, and they are also started learning. They have also started learning English as well. They are getting free education, both academic education as well as the spiritual formation is also being done. So all these 4 academies are run under the name of Rise. Rise is reaching individuals through supporting and empowering. So we are reaching individuals, supporting them, not only supporting them, but empowering them also.
Sunil, can you explain? You work as a teacher during the day, you lead 3 churches at the weekends, and you run these academies. When do you run the academies? Do you run those in the evenings? And do you teach during the day? That's your paid job. And then you run these academies in the evening to help children for free. Is that correct?
I go to the school in the morning hours, which is from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So, I mean, half an hour break is always there. So, break is always spent in the school. So, once I come back, because thanks be to God that I am working as a team. I am working as, with the help of evangelists, with the expert teachers who have also a beautiful heart to serve the people, because I cannot go to all the academies altogether. So that's why I have hired uh, four teachers who look after these four academies.
And the academies
And
happen in the afternoon, is that correct?
in the afternoon between 4:30 to 6:30.
How do you fund the work with the churches, and how do you fund the work with the academies, the four academies that you've got going with these children? Can you explain to people how you've done your own finances?
Yes, my wife is a general nurse. I mean, general nurse means she's a government employee, and I am working in a private sector. My wife earns more than I am. So uh, I have my own salary and my wife's salary, and I have also resources from my friends and from the members of the Rise Ministry.
And tell us, you personally, how do you use your own money? Because you talked about one third, one third, one third. Could you explain to people how that works for your own finances, for you and your wife's finances?
We divide our salaries into three parts. So first one is for God always. Even though I am a pastor, but still I pay uh, my I will say that my funds for the church. So I just pay for God. I mean, my first part goes to God. The second part goes to my family, my own family. The third part goes for the mission, for the children, for the women, and for those who are in great need from my own community, or for those who attend my church. Sorry, I might not my church, but our church. So that's how I manage my salary. I divide it into three parts: for God, for family, and for the mission.
And when you say three parts, is that 33%, 33%, 33%? Is that correct?
Exactly.
It's very generous. And so, Suneel, tell us. You started the sewing center, and this is your heart to learn and then earn. And the women are now creating garments, and are now the goal is to sell these garments so that the women are coming out of poverty, and they're using their own hands and learning skills and earning money. I think that's an absolutely wonderful example of learn and then earn. Well done, Suneel, and well done to your team as well.
Yes. Yes, the idea was to help the widows because they used to work from 4:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. till 12 or maybe 1 or 2 noon p.m. So it was very, very difficult for the widows to work because their husband had taken the debt. And unfortunately, or maybe by sickness or by accident, they just died. So all those women had to work uh, at the brickyard or the brick kiln, even though their children are only 2 years old, 6 months old, or 10 years old. So they had to work there. Literally, I just, what really caught my attention, a woman, she was a kind of bulky woman, quite healthy, even though she was not able to sit. Because when you just make the bricks, you had to sit continuously for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. So not so she was bulky fellow and she was carrying her baby on her back, and it was very very hot. So she was just carrying her baby at the back and she was making the bricks. I literally wept for her. So I said, "What made you to work in this excessive heat while carrying your baby at the back, even though it's hot and you're carrying your baby at your back?" So he's weeping. So she said, "I don't have anything else to do because my husband died and they are not letting me go out." So I said, "Okay, let's pray." So I said, "Okay, you pray, sister, you pray." So she just prayed and I also prayed. And so I said, what do you want me to do for you? So she said, okay, just teach me a skill so that I can just sit in my house and I can earn for my family. So the very day, the very evening, I just shared with Brother James Trower that we really want to open a swing center for the women where they can just swing, knitting, cutting, embroidery. So they can just learn this skill. And once they learn, they can earn a good package. They can earn a good salary while staying at home. And we just bought the machines and bought everything. And we started the swing center in one of the villages where all the widows are working, and they are doing marvelous. And I shared some of the material with you, with the James as well. So as usual, you also encouraged us, and he also encouraged us. And in next few months, we'll be ready to help their families, as well as they will also be helping the center to help those women who will be coming later on. So that's how
will they help train the new women, Suneel? Was that the idea, that they will train the old women will train the new women? Is that correct?
Yeah, yes. They'll be training the new women, and that's how the chain will go like that.
So Suneel, please, can you tell us, how did you get a heart for the poor? When did that first happen? What did God do in your soul? Can you remember that moment when all of a sudden you realized God's heart for the poor? Please tell us your story.
I remember I was just crossing the road and I saw a man with no hand. I saw a man with no hand, and he was just sitting beside the roadside. And I don't know what happened to me. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I just went there. I just looked at him and I said, you know, God is in you also. He said, God is in me? Yes. I said, when he formed you, he threw his breath into your nostrils, and then you were made, and you are loved by God. And he said, no, I'm not loved by God. If I was loved by God, I would have hands like you. I would have a good clothing. I would have everything like you. So I said, no, never compare yourself with others, because you are the finest creature of God. Then we spent almost 1.5 hours or 2 hours just sharing with each other. And you know what he did? He just hugged me so tightly, and he said, no one ever loved me like that, and no one ever talked to me like that. And where is that man now? He is a government employee now. So whenever I meet him, because he lives in another province, so whenever I meet him, he always say, you changed my life. So I said, no, you changed my life. And
is he a follower of Jesus now?
He is a follower of Jesus, but he cannot express openly. But he is very good follower of Christ, and whenever we go, we just pray together. He's a Muslim guy, actually.
Very good, Suneel. And Suneel, let me just end by, what encouragement would you give to leaders across the Go Global family of churches? What encouragement would you give them in their desire to help the poor? Please share an encouragement with them.
Sometimes we really take a very deeper and very good meaning of neighbor. Neighbor is just who is beside me. Neighbor is just on my right side, my left side, or my back. But the true meaning of being a neighbor is that story. That story of a person who was just, beaten by the thieves and just thrown over there. And the priest just went there and no one was there. But the true neighborhood story is to be a good Samaritan. So we need to be Yes, definitely we are pastors, we are evangelists, we are everyone. But aside from that, we also need to get another title for ourselves, that is to be a good Samaritan. I don't serve only the believers, because in my academies I have Muslims also. In our widow center, which is run by the Go Global family here in Pakistan, so we also have Muslims. We, recently what incident took place, the Muslims burned the Christians' houses. Hundreds of houses were burnt down. But we didn't say anything, because Jesus was the Son of God, so he could do whatever he wanted to do, but he didn't. So the words he said, okay, they know not what they do. Even though he was a Son of God, he could do anything, but he just forgave them. So we, being a Christian, we also need to give a good, we should always pray for our enemies also. If we just pray for our friends, what good we do or what extra we did, but we should be praying for our uh, enemies also. So my suggestion or my encouraging words for everyone out there is to be a pastor as well as to be a good Samaritan, to reach as many as you can. Not only the church, but we should be going beyond the church also.